Hello everyone, myself Monu Sharma from Suresh Kanviar University, Jagatpura, Jaipur. Today we are going to talk about fungi. So first of all, general characters of fungi. Fungi are the eukaryotic, achlorophyllous and unicellular or multicellular organisms which may reproduce by asexual and sexual spores. Study of fungi, which is called mycology. Indian botanist P. A. Michaeli, which proposed fungi comes from spores, and the P. A. Michaeli is the father of mycology. All are eukaryotic, possess membrane-bound nuclei that containing chromosomes and a range of membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles like mitochondria, vacuoles, endoplasmic reticulum. Most are filamentous, composed of individual microscopic filament that is called hyphae, which exhibit apical growth and which branch to form a network of hyphae that is called a mycelium. So, some are unicellular, for example, yeast. Protoplasm of a hyphae or cell is surrounded by a rigid wall composed primarily of chitin and glucans, although the walls of some species contain cellulose. Many reproduce both sexually or asexually. Both sexual and asexual reproduction often result in the production of spores. Their nuclei are typically haploid and hyphal compartments are often multinucleate, although the Oomycota and some yeast possess diploid nuclei in which all are achlorophyllous, they lack chlorophyll pigment and are incapable of photosynthesis. Next is all are chemotropic. Chemotropic and chemoorganotropic. They utilize pre-existing organic source of carbon in their environment and the energy from chemical reaction to synthesize the organic compounds, so they require for growth and energy. In other words, a fungus must digest food to live. Possess characteristics range of storage compound, for example, like tree haloes, glycogen, sugar, alcohol, and lipids. May be free living or may from intimate relationship with other organisms, may be free living, parasitic, or mutualistic symbiotic. There are some important definitions which related to the fungi. First is the thallus. So, thallus, that means the body of the fungus is called as thallus, which is without stem, root, and leaves. Eucarpic, denoting a fungus in which the thallus is differentiated into vegetative and reproductive regions. That means whenever the fungus body or the fungus thallus, which will be divided into two parts like uh, differentiative into two parts like vegetative part or reproductive part, then this type of thallus will be called eucarpic thallus. Then another is the holocarpic. Holocarpic, that means denoting a fungus in which the entire thallus is differentiated into a reproductive sporangium. It is receptacle in which asexual spores are formed when they will be mature. Holocarpic thallus, that means only the fungus thallus or the thallus which will be differentiated into the reproductive part. Some fungi may be unicellular yeast, while some fungi may be multicellular molds. Yeast is a microscopic form of fungi having just a one cell, whereas molds are microorganisms which have a tendency to grow with help of multiple cell filaments, that is called as hyphae. After that, homothallic or heterothallic fungi. Like firstly, there were two type of thallus, eucarpic and holocarpic. Eucarpic, that means whenever the thallus which will be differentiated into two parts, like in vegetative part or in reproductive part. Then the holocarpic, in which only one part will be there, or the thallus which will be differentiated into the reproductive part. After that, homothallic fungi, if male and female sex organ or both the gametes are produced on the same thallus, then they are self fertile or self compatible. So, whenever the male and female sex organ or both the gametes are produced on the same thallus, then they are self fertile or self compatible. For example, powdery mildew of mung, Saprotheca fulginea. Then another is the heterothallic fungi. If male and female sex organs or both the gametes are produced on the different thallus, so they are self sterile, or for example, rest fungi. Heterothallic, that means whenever the male and female sex organ or both the gametes are produced on the different thallus, then it will be called the heterothallic. If both the gametes which present on or which produce from the single thallus or from the same thallus, then it will be called homothallic. After that, hyphae. So, what is the hyphae? Basically, the hypha is a filamentous structure of fungus. Hypha is a single thread-like filament is called as hypha. A hypha is made up of a thin, transparent, tubular wall filled or lined with a layer of protoplasm. So, protoplasm is the colorless material comprising the living part of a cell, including the cytoplasm, nucleus, and other organelles. Tubular hard wall of chitin cross walls may form compartments, multinucleate, and grow at tips. So here the fungi, that is the septate hyphae, and that is the septum. Septum by which there will be division of the nuclei, and that is the nucleus, and this type of hypha is called as coinocytic hypha. After that, septa. Septa occur in the thallus of all filamentous fungi to cut off reproductive cells from the rest of the hypha. Septate of the damaged parts divide the hypha into regular or irregular compartments or cells. So there are two general types of septa in fungi, that is, the primary septa are formed in association with cylinder. So there are two types of general types of septa in the fungi. The primary septa are formed in association with nuclear division and are laid down between daughter cells. The adventitious septa are formed independently of nuclear division and are spatially associated with changes in the concentration of the phloem. The adventitious septa are formed independently of nuclear division and are spatially associated with changes in the concentration of the protoplasm as it moves from one part of the hypha to another. So, all types of septa are formed by centripetal growth from the hyphal wall inward. In some septa, the growth continues until the septum is called. So, in some septa, the growth continues until the septum is a solid plate. So, in others, the septum remains incomplete, leaving a pore in the center that they may often be plugged or oculated. After that, mycelium. Mycelium, basically, we can say that The branch structure of hypha is called the mycelium. So mycelium, a group of hypha or network of hyphae which is constituting the body of fungus, is called the mycelium. Mycelium may be septate or aseptate, intracellular or intercellular. Intracellular, like the parasitic fungi, which will be there and penetrate into the host. Then Aprochium. Aprochium, simple or lobed structure of hyphal or germ tube and a a pressing organ from which a minute infection peg usually grow and enter the epidermal cells of the host. So the Hostoria, which can penetrate the surface easily. So here you can see that there is the epidermal cell and the epidermis. So it will be attached with the surface of the host, and then there will be formation of a pack, and then it will be invade inside. So direct with Aprochium, penetration pag and intracellular mycelium. So basically, firstly, there will be the formation of spore, then uh, formation of the germ tube, and the germ tube will be elongated, and then it will be penetrate into the host cell. So it will be within the cell and it is called intracellular. So basically it will be two types, like intercellular or intracellular. Types of mycelium. Monokaryotic mycelium, that is uninucleate. Mycelium contains single nucleus that usually forms part of haplophase in the life cycle of fungi. Monokaryotic mycelium, that means uninucleate. Mycelium contains a single nucleus that usually forms part of haplophase in the life cycle of fungi. Dikaryotic mycelium, we can say that binucleate. Mycelium contains pair of nuclei, that is dikaryon, which denotes the diplophase in the life cycle of fungi. Homokaryotic mycelium. The mycelium contains genetically identical nuclei. Homokaryotic, homo, that means the nuclei will be same and the nuclei contains genetically identical. So both the nuclei will be same. Monokaryotic, there will be the presence of a single nuclei, dikaryotic presence of two nuclei, and there will be a pair of nuclei. Homokaryotic, both the nuclei and the nuclei which contain genetically identical nuclei. Heterokaryotic mycelium, the mycelium contains nuclei of different genetic constituents, that is heterokaryotic. So the mycelium contain nuclei of different genetic constituents. Multinucleate, the fungal cell contain more than two nuclei. So here there are the different nuclei like monokaryotic mycelia and dikaryotic mycelia. Monokaryotic, that means there is the presence of single nuclei. Then dikaryotic mycelium, in which there is the presence of two nuclei or a pair of nuclei, but basically the nuclei are not identical, similar. Mycelium with nucleated or multinucleated cell. So here basically there are many nucleates or the multinucleates are present. After that, fungal cell structure. Fungal cell structure, the chief components of cell wall appears to be various type of carbohydrate, cellulose, pactose, callose, etc., or their mixtures up to 80 to 90%. So the Mystigomycotina, that is lower fungi, cellulose predominates, and higher fungi in which the chitin is present. Cytoplasm contains organelles such as nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, vacuoles, vesicles, microbodies, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, and microtubules. Nucleus. So the nucleus has nuclear envelope comprising of two typical unit membrane and a central dense area known as nucleolus. In multinucleate hyphae, the nuclei may be interconnected by the endoplasmic reticulum. So vacuoles, which provide the turgor pressure and the turgor needed for cell growth and maintenance of cell shape, plus store reserve materials. So the chief storage product of fungi are glycogen and lipid. So basically that is the fungal cell structure in which all the organelles are present, like single membrane or double membrane bound organs like cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm which will be contained like nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, vacuoles, vesicles, microbodies, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, and microtubules. Then nucleus has nuclear envelope which comprising of two typical unit membrane and a central dense area which known as nucleolus. In multinucleate hyphae, the nuclei may be interconnected by the endoplasmic reticulum. Vacuoles, those provide turgor pressure and the turgor needed for cell growth and maintenance of shell shape and store reserve material. There is the chief storage products of fungi are glycogen and lipid. So basically, that is the structure of rhizoids. Then aggregation of hyphae and tissues like mycelial strand, rhizomorph or fungal tissues. Mycelial strands, aggregates of parallel or interwoven undifferentiated hyphae which adhere closely and are frequently anastomes or cemented together. They are relatively loose, that is, for example, Sclerotium rolfesi growth on culture medium which compared to rhizomorph. So they have no well defined apical meristem. Mycelial strand formation is quite common in Basidiomycetes, Ascomycetes, and Deuteriomycetes. So there are the strands are capable of translocating materials in both the directions. So here the mycelial cord of the actomycorrhizal fungus, that is Lactarius pubensis, growing across a nutrient poor agar plate. Note that many hyphae are aggregated into a thick cord-like structure, but the hyphae fan out from the cord in search of nutrients at the margin of the agar colony. Then the next is the rhizomorph, the aggregation of highly differentiated hyphae with a well-defined apical meristem, a central core of larger, thin-walled cells which are often darkly pigmented. They grow faster than the mycelial strand. The growing tip of rhizomorph, which resembles that of a root tip, the fungus may spread underground from one root system to another by means of rhizomorph. So these root-like aggregation is found in the honey fungus or honey aggregate, that is Armillaria melia. So here you can see the structure. This one. Next Next is fungal tissues. Fungal tissues. First is the plectinchyma, prosenchyma, and pseudoparenchyma. Plectinchyma, like mycelium, become organized into loosely or compactly woven tissues. Like first is the plectin to wave, and chyma, that means infusion. So these are the woven tissue. Prosenchyma, that means towards, plus enchyma, infusion approaching a tissue. Tissue is loosely woven and the hyphae is parallel to one another. It is called prosenchyma because the tissues are loosely arranged and loosely woven, distinguishable and typical elongated cells. Then pseudoparenchyma, it is consist of closely packed, more or less isodimetric or oval cells resembling the parenchyma cells or vascular plants. Then types of tissue hypha are not distinguishable. That is the structure of pseudoparenchyma and prosenchyma. So first is pseudoparenchyma and the another one is prosenchyma, and this kind the tissues will be arranged. Then stroma and sclerotium, basically somatic structure of fungi. Stroma, a compact somatic structure or hyphal aggregation similar to a mattress or a cushion on which or in which fructification of fungi are usually formed. So they may be of various shapes and size. Hyphal masses like acervuli, hyphal masses like acervuli, Sporodokia, Pinotech, etc. are the fertile stromata which bears saprophores producing the spores. Then sclerotia. Sclerotia are hard structures resistant to unfavorable physical and chemical conditions. They may remain dormant for longer period of time, sometimes for several years, and germinate on the return of favorable condition. Next is the mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza, symbiotic association between higher plant roots and fungal mycelia. Many plants in nature have mycorrhizal association. Mycorrhizal plants increase the surface area of the root system for better absorption of nutrients from soil, and especially when the soils are deficient in the phosphorus. So the nature of association is believed to be symbiotic, that is mutualist, non-pathogenic or weakly pathogenic. These are three types of mycorrhizal fungi association with plants and roots. So there are three types of mycorrhizal fungal association with the plant roots, like ectotropic or sheathing or ectomycorrhiza, endotropic or endomycorrhiza, and ectendotropic mycorrhiza. Next is the fungal reproduction. Fungi always produces spores, ex- sexual or asexual or both kind of spores. Some require only a single host, whereas some require more than one host to complete their life cycle. So this phenomena name asexual reproduction by fragmentation of soma or cell shape or hyphae. Secondly, binary fission. Third, budding. And fourth one, production of spores. And sexual reproduction by planogametic copulation, gametangial contact, then gametangial copulation, then spermatization, then somatogamy, heterokaryosis, or dikaryoticization. So, firstly, asexual reproduction of fungi by fragmentation of hyphae. So basically, the mycelium and each fragment grows into a new individual. The hyphae break into their component cells as oidea or anthrospores. These behave like spores. So if the cells become enveloped in the thick cell wall before they separate from other hyphal cells adjoining them, they are called as chlamydospores. For example, like each fragment which further germinates to form hyphae, for example, oidea of powdery mildew. Like asexual reproduction in the Basidiomycetes, asexual reproduction takes place by means of budding, by fragmentation of mycelium, and by the production of conidia, anthrospores, or oidea. So conidia may be bud off from both the basidiophores and the mycelium. So the uridinospores produced by the rust are also conidial in nature. The anthrospores, those produced by the Basidiomycetes, may be uninucleate or binucleate. It's depending on whether they arise from primary and secondary mycelium. Oidea are produced from special short hyphal branches. The oidiospores, which cut off oidea succession from the tip of the oidiophores. So these are the conidia. Conidia is spore produced asexually by various fungi, tip of the specialized. Like that is the structure of conidiophore. Or in conidiophore, basically the formation of the spores. So this structure, which is called as spores, and the conidiophore, in which the conidia will be formed and they will be collected, and after that they will be separate. There is the fragmentation of the hyphae and it will be broken apart. So like that, basically, so here you can see the fragmentation of the hyphae. Like that, this kind there will be fragmentation and all the fragment which will be separate and then form a new organism. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction by binary fission, by budding, and by the sporulation. So first is the binary fission, fission of somatic cell into the daughter cells. Parent cell divides into two by a formation of construction or by formation of divider. For example, yeast or true fungi. Then budding, it is the production of bud or a small outgrowth from a parent cell. A bud is formed, the nucleus and the bud or small outgrowth from a parent cell. So a bud is formed when the nucleus A bud is formed, the nucleus and parent cell which divides and one daughter nucleus migrates into the mud. So bud will be increases in size and forms a new individual. For example, rust and smut fungi, yeast fungi. Then sporulation. Sporulation, that means production of spores. Spore produced may be A, OB or BOT. Spore produced like A, that means acropetal. Acropetal, oldest at the bottom and the youngest at the top. Like the oldest spores which will be seated down or it will be set at the bottom, and then acropetal, oldest at the bottom and youngest at the top. Basipetal, oldest at the top and the youngest at the bottom. Asexual sporulation. So first is the sporangiosperm are the spores. Spores themselves are of two types like aplanospore, planospore. Aplanospore, that means non-motile. Planospores or zoospores are flagellated, whiplash-like and tinsel-like. So sporangia is a sac-like structure in which these spores are produced. So there is the shape is of two types like mesosporangium, that is cylindrical in shape, sporangiolum, a small sporangium which containing one to few spores, conidia. Conidia can be free like on conidiophore or produced in fruiting bodies. So the conidia can be free like on conidiophore or produced in fruiting bodies. These fruiting bodies are of four types like Puccinidia, Acervulus, Sporodocium and Cinemata. So Puccinidia, that is the flask shaped structure. Ostiole present or absent. Acervulus, that is mate-like structure on which the conidiospores are present. Sporodocium, that is cushion-like structure where the conidiophore arises from the central stroma, for example, fusarium, and Cinemata, that is conidiophore, united base and free at top, for example, graphium. That is the structure of Merosporangium. So the compile it will be Merosporangium and there is a terminal vesicle. That is unisport sporangia, that is Benjaminalia poitris. Puccinidia, so that is the Puccinidium in which the spores are formed and the hypha is there and the complete structure which is called as thallus. Acervulus is small asexual fruiting body that erupts through the epidermis of host. Mitosporic fungi of the form order, then Melanoconidiales, Deuteromycota, and Coelomycetes. So there is the small cushion at the bottom of which short crowded conidiophores are formed. So this is the conidiophore, and these are the conidia, and then like conidia sets are there, and then conidiophore. Conidiophore, a structure in which the conidia will be formed. Thank you.